Hello everyone, folks. Today we are going to talk about life hacks for school, or rather about hacking things that you will definitely need. And I'm sure some of them will definitely make you crazy. And drove. Nowadays, there are more reasonable ways to pass the exam, for example, using this smart controller. It allows you to remotely control your smartphone. You need to put this strap on your chest, attach a controller to it, and hide the whole thing under a t-shirt. Then you hide your phone in an anti-spyware folder, and that's it. You're ready for exams. But if the teacher forbids leaving unnecessary things on the table, then you will have to hide the phone so that no one notices it. And what if there's a way that you don't have to memorize all these complicated mathematical formulas and definitions? There is such a super weapon for the exam. It looks like an ordinary calculator, but in fact, it is a powerful tool with hidden functionality. You can hide notes, photos, videos, and recorded voice on it. And if a teacher passes by, just press the emergency button, and the device will turn into a banal calculator again. And this is a small capsule that will not be noticeable in the ear. Communication with the interlocutor is convenient thanks to the output microphone, which can be placed on the wrist. The battery capacity lasts for 3 hours. In addition to calls, the device supports the function of playing audio files. The disadvantages include the lack of a volume control, which is why you can only adjust the sound on your smartphone. This is a big minus if the user is deprived of access to the gadget during the exam. And this is a simple and quite interesting product for school children and students. This is a ballpoint pen cheat sheet. If you look at her stupidly, you won't notice anything. However, there is a metal strip on the side, and if you pull it, you will pull out a white ribbon. You can write whatever you want on it, whether it's a cheat sheet or mathematical formulas. And the main thing is that it is not so expensive. I bet you had an idea about how to watch cheat sheets so that no one would notice. So, there is something interesting. From the outside, this is an ordinary pencil case, but it is not, because it has the effect of illusion. That is, you put a cheat sheet in it, close it and see everything written, but if you look at it from the other side, there is no cheat sheet there. Cool stuff. And this is a pretty cool t-shirt that does not cover, but so to speak exposes. That is, you put it on, then point the camera at it, and admire the anatomical features of our body. You can look at the skeleton or at the organs from different angles. The picture can be zoomed in, distanced, looked at from above, from below. And in the mode of 360 degrees, you can completely immerse yourself inside the organ. And you know what the funniest thing is? And the fact that you cannot even buy a t-shirt. Just install the app and point the camera at this photo. The only drawback is the vertical shooting. That's what I got. And this pen has a built-in spy camera, which serves to record video and audio recordings. And she will definitely help you write down the evidence. For example, your teacher behaves incompetently, shouts at everyone, or shows aggression. You tell this to your parents, but they don't believe it, because they know that you are a talker in life, because you have lied to them many times. However, as soon as you provide them with a recording, they will already speak differently, and you will not see this teacher again. Except maybe in the 5 behind the cash register. I remember, as a child, everyone loved to play different games on the snaps. Oh, it's a pity there was no such gadget in my time. Then, the whole city would be afraid of my snaps. In fact, there are 2 springs and a metal fixture for connection. All this allows the finger to bounce with great force, which makes the snaps sick. Yes, what can I say, I hit a cucumber, and it flew off a meter. Now imagine what it's like. I remember there was also an interesting coin game, but that's another story. As soon as someone found himself alone in a dark alley with a robber, he immediately came up with this cover for protection. Although it makes the device a little heavier, but it has in its arsenal a real stun gun with a capacity of 650,000 volts and a spare battery. That allows you to maintain the charge of a mobile device for 20 hours longer. In my time, there were enough Gopnik, there were even some cases, but now in the course of all of them have died out. However, as well as emo. While people continue to buy glasses with a camera, get deadlines, there are also gadgets that are not very popular, but are not prohibited. A power supply unit with a hidden video camera. It looks like a regular power supply for charging all sorts of gadgets. And only barely noticeable mini holes gives out the camera. How does it work? Just plug it into an outlet, and the camera starts working. For those who charge gadgets in educational institutions, this will definitely come in handy. At least then you'll find out who communized your iPhone. This is a US killer. Literally in a second, it destroys any device. Just don't give it to your friends for fun, otherwise you'll be left without them. And in general, if you find a flash drive on the street one day, do not try to insert it into the computer out of curiosity. Once I read an article on the internet, how a guy in the subway pulled a flash drive from a passenger's mesh pocket of a bag, on which it was written 128. I came home, inserted it into the laptop, and burned it. He wrote 129 on a flash drive, and now carries it in the outer pocket of his bag. Still, our life is a very paradoxical thing, as well as technology. A living example is these glasses. A small camera is built into the glasses. By software, the camera recognizes the image, analyzes it for compliance with the existing patterns, and if the criteria match. The same horizontal polarization is turned on. A person still sees everything that surrounds him, but the screens with commercials turn into dark spots. And this is a watch with a special display, which you need to look at with special polarizing glasses. The glasses are supplied as a set. The watch supports almost all formats, and the highlight can be called an emergency alarm button. It is used so that no one notices that you are cheating. And you can be absolutely calm, because the teacher will not suspect anything. The big plus is that you don't need to scroll through the answer text yourself. It will be displayed at the selected speed. And this is a bottle of mineral water. Stop. Just don't think that I'm completely crazy here. Show me an ordinary bottle. The thing is that there is a camera hidden in it. It is hidden behind the label, and it is not so easy to see it. By the way, it has a motion sensor, and, with the necessary settings, the camera can start shooting as soon as some movement starts nearby with an interval of 3 minutes. And of course, you can get real water into the bottle. And this is a pretty interesting gadget. It can scan text, barcodes, and small images, and transfer them to any programs and applications on the smartphone on the fly. In fact, with the help of this scanner, everything should happen much faster. He ran his finger along the line, and it immediately appeared on the screen. However, you need to have a very firm hand, and the device does not always recognize the Cyrillic alphabet. Therefore, this device may disappoint someone. And maybe you just need to get used to it. And this is a cool backpack for modern youth. The main feature is the presence of a screen. Well, as a screen. LED panels with a resolution of 16 by 20 dots. The screen can display pixel images or animations. They are uploaded to the backpack via the Bluetooth app. The utility has a set of several widgets and an editor for creating your own images and texts. You can even upload a Morgenstern animation. Bored people can run one of 2 games on a backpack, a classic Snake or Tetris. What kind of chargers in our time only there are not luminous, iridescent, even reusable and similar garlands. But from such a charge, everyone will definitely gasp. The joke is that while charging the smartphone, the cord pulsates and moves. Holy shit, how realistic is this? There is a feeling that this thing is literally going to eat this phone now. And this is a strange, but quite interesting mug. No, we're not going to drink tea here right now, but we're going to talk about geography. The trick is that as soon as you download the application and point the camera at the mug, you will see a highly detailed model of the Earth. You can see the grandiose forests of the Amazon, the national park in Iceland, and even the Himalayas. You can also ask questions to find out certain facts about the planet. Quite an interesting thing, firm which you can stick for a few hours. And this is a pen with a dictaphone. What is convenient about the handle is that you can always turn it in your hands. And since there is no video recording here, there is no need to point the camera at your object and keep it in one position, which can cause unnecessary attention. In general, it's great to record all sorts of lectures or topics for lessons on it, and then listen quietly at home. If you suddenly missed something, there is enough charging here for the whole day. Well, sound files weigh a little, because 2 or 4 gigabytes are enough for the eyes here. And this is a new generation tablet. With it, you can read newspapers, magazines, and books, as on an ebook, and make sketches or notes, as on ordinary paper. But the most important thing is that it replaces the notebook in a cage and in a ruler. I hope that in the distant future, all our children studying at school will use similar tablets. After all, it's actually more convenient than carrying around a bunch of notebooks. And moreover, all records can be transferred to a US flash drive and stored for years. Even in 20 years, it will be possible to see what you wrote. And this is a good anti-stress in the form of a small joystick. It will help calm your crazy nerves when your teacher once again wants to give you a deuce for homework. And in fact, this thing is addictive. I just want to turn, press, click. But do you know what the joke is? This thing will definitely calm you down, but on the contrary, it will infuriate your neighbor. Do you know why? Because these buttons are literally clicking, and someone may not like it. And this, in my opinion, is the most worthless, stupid phone. It has a small OLED display, a small battery of 200 milliamps per hour, a micro USB 4 charging. 300 phone numbers can be stored in memory. Yes, he is tiny in size, knows how to call and send text messages. But here is a dog worth $40, and, in fact, he is of no use. It's true, if you have nostalgia, it's better to buy a Nokia 3310. Unpack it, put it in the back drawer of your desk, and calm down. And this pen with invisible ink, where what is written becomes visible only under ultraviolet light. Her paste is colorless, absolutely nothing is visible on paper without a lamp. But when you light it with a lamp, everything written becomes readable. I remember, as a child, we ourselves made something similar from citric acid or milk or soda. They wrote on paper, and then ironed the inscriptions to develop. The effect is basically the same. And this is a pretty interesting sharpener in the form of a cat. The cat makes a meow sound when a pencil is inserted into the hole. And it's not clear whether she likes it or whether the pencil is already sharpened. In any case, I don't understand what kind of sane person would buy such a thing. Well, after all, the sound of meow beckons to sharpen another pencil.